if you study all the means, then actually you can design the required, okay, whatever is your specification, accordingly you can design your IoT. Okay, now I hope you have studied about IEEE standards. Am I right? Now who can unmute and answer? What is IEEE standard? Who is here? Apeksha? If you all, Apeksha?
Hello, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, yeah. According to you, what is the IEEE standard?
Uh, uh, Standard for what, ma'am?
IEEE standard. You should tell it is a standard for what?
Uh, I don't know, ma'am.
It was there in your CC, and so I am asking. Hanisha, Hanisha, unmute yourself. Hanisha is present. Okay. Hanisha, no. Then now, Kavya Shri.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is this? Hanisha or Kavya Shri?
Kavya Shri, ma'am.
Okay, Kavya. According to you, what is IEEE standard?
It's like a group of standards, ma'am, which is like both wired and used for computer networking.
Okay, yeah, right. It is a set of protocols. Okay, it is a protocol set of standards. Okay, which is meant for communication. Now, actually, why this set of standards is required? Because see, this should be like universally accepted. What you communicate from one device to the next device should be universally used and universally accepted, because now at present your device is communicating with my device. Okay, at around 11 o'clock your device will be communicating with some other device. That time, to get that compatibility, okay, if compatibility is not there, then data transfer will not take place. So to achieve that compatibility, we need to have some standards. Okay, so yesterday's video I had put the same. Okay, that was standards for IoT. Okay, standards for IoT is different. This IEEE standards for communication is different, because communication is not only for IoT, it is for entire like telecommunication what we do. Okay, so standards should be taken. So in that, while framing the standards is framed. Okay, so while framing the standards, for which distance, how actually the connection data transfer should take place. Okay, if it is a short range, then how should be the because security may be less. Okay, security concepts in that may be what I have to give what I have to give care is less in the short range. Okay, whereas for a long range security is also high, power consumption is also high. Okay, in between we may have to add repeaters. So okay, and the time taken is high, so speed, okay, reduces over there. So depending, keeping all those in mind, for different range of communication, okay, that is data transfer, different standards are framed. Okay, those standards are recommended by IEEE. So it is every time it is told as IEEE 802 point. It can be extension later. 11 point N, okay, for something. 11 point A for something. 15 point B for something, like that. Okay, so for something, what I mean is maybe for Bluetooth, maybe for Zigbee, maybe for Wi-Fi. So that is the standard. When we say it is okay, 802.15 point okay, maybe it refers to one particular means of uh, communication. So every device have to be designed accordingly. So now here, if you see short range, we have Bluetooth. Okay, then in the medium range, okay, we can have Zigbee. Okay, then these standards. These are the standards for different, like we can have a proximity card. Okay, we can have RFID. So many things we can have in this range. Okay, the standard is given here, 802.15.4. Okay, 190.2, all those things. Then Wi-Fi is also there, but Wi-Fi I can use it for a short range as well as I can use it for a long range. And long range we have exclusively 2G, 3G, 4G, and 5G, and so on. Okay, such connections. So this is actually we have segregated the communication technologies. Okay, for different range of data transmission. Coming to short range, okay, it is wireless short range technologies are often considered as an alternative to a serial cable, okay, supporting tens of meters of maximum distance between two devices. Yeah, like, do we have standards for the wired communication? Yes, we have standards for wired communication also. Okay, now actually for wireless communication also we have standards. So this short range technology for if you are using, because it is a short range, if you are using wired communication, then the standard varies, changes. If you are using wireless, the standard changes. Okay, examples of short range wireless technology are Bluetooth. Okay, see the standard 802.15.1. Okay, and visible light communication, okay, 802.15.7. The devices may vary, I repeat. Okay, keep in mind the devices may vary of communication, but the standard will remain the same thing. Every device what you design for, like if you are designing, if you are design again, for a new purpose, then it has to fit in these standards. Okay, you can use a different frequency, that is a different issue. You can use a different frequency. Okay, you can find out some different range only for transmission. Now visible light communication comes in a different range only. Okay, that you can do, but standard you have to follow the like whatever is given. These short range communication methods are found in only a minority of IoT installation. That is what, now today whatever we are studying, everything, don't think that it is used in IoT. Okay, it can be used in IoT. Some of these technologies, okay, are used or can be used for IoT applications. Next, coming to medium range. Okay, this range is the main category of IoT access technology. Okay, in the range of 10 to 100 meters, many specifications and implementations are available. For IoT, this is a, okay, otherwise all have got equal significance. Okay, especially if I have to say, long range has got more specific, more application, as well as more research is going on in the long range. But since we are dealing with IoT, here actually medium range or short range only will take lead. Okay, the maximum distance is generally less than 1 mile, that is 1.6 kilometer, between two devices for medium range. Okay, again, this is a general idea. Depending on your application and your device what you select, okay, it can vary slightly. Examples are IEEE 802.11 Wi-Fi, okay, 802.15.4, 1.15.4G, okay, that is wide range personal area network. Okay, then if you are going for wired technology, Ethernet and narrowband power line communications. Now, actually, I'll ask somebody to tell me what do they know about Ethernet. Um, Shaichit here is here. Shaichit?
Hello, ma'am.
Shaichit?
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello,
Hello. Yeah. Okay. Now,
ma'am. It's
what is Ethernet? You have studied in your previous semester, right? According to what do you
ma'am.
know?
It's
Uh,
connecting different computers together.
connecting different computers together. Is it wire or wireless?
Wireless, ma'am.
Ethernet is wireless. Is it? Okay. Let me ask somebody else. Rakshanda. Rakshanda.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, Rakshanda, you are in, right? According to you, what do you mean by Ethernet?
Ethernet is like connecting computers, like in LAN, ma'am, local area network.
In LAN. So Shaichit said it is wireless. Is LAN wireless?
I'm not sure, ma'am, but I think it's fine. Well,
It is LAN. You are not sure. So I got one more idea. It is used for LAN. Now whom can I ask? Who can consolidate and tell me? Navya Ramachandra Nayak. Navya?
Hello.
Yeah, Navya is here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. See, Shaichit said it is wireless, and Rakshanda said it is. She knows that it is used for LAN connection, but both of them said it is used to connect two computers. Okay. So according to
Yeah.
you, what is it? Ethernet.
Uh, yes, ma'am. It is used for connecting computers, but it is wired.
It is wired.
Yes, ma'am.
Then is it something like optical fiber, or is it something like coaxial cable? How is it?
It's coaxial cable, ma'am.
It is a
Now, recently, they use twisted cables instead of coaxial cables.
they have recently they have used twisted pair,
Uh,
or
yeah.
is it vice versa?
Sorry,
Is it
ma'am.
like according to me, it is vice versa. That is, now they are using like coaxial cable, like this thing, but it is not exactly coaxial cable. I repeat, coaxial cable is for different band of frequency. Coaxial cable. For Ethernet, we have different band of frequency. Okay, but it is
Okay.
similar to that. Okay,
Okay,
it is
ma'am.
similar to
Okay.
that. The ports, the connecting ports are different. Okay, connect, it is not like exactly, but it is as per I know, my knowledge goes, it is earlier it was designed like a twisted pair. Now it is not. Okay.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Okay.
Uh, so it is concluded that it is a wired communication. Shaichit,
Yes.
Shaichit, are you online? Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
yeah, it is not
Wired.
wireless, it is
Yeah,
wired
ma'am.
communication. Okay, mostly when we say wired communication, usually you have to think that it is for a like a short or what I can call a small network only. Okay, we cannot use it for a long network. Wired communication long only goes with fiber optic networks. Okay, no other Ethernet and all will not support that. So if any wired communication comes other than optical fiber, then it is for a short LAN or of that kind. Okay, uh, found only in a minority of IoT installations. Then comes medium range. Okay, this is the main category of the IoT access technology, because medium range falls between short range and uh, that long range. Now, okay, distances greater than 1 mile between two devices require long range technologies. Okay, wireless examples are 2G, 3G cellular, and some applications of outdoor Wi-Fi sometimes. Okay, and low power wide area network technologies. Low power wide area network. Okay, also sometimes comes under long range technologies. Okay, now if we are going one by one, first one is near field communication. Okay, now this is one kind. NFC stands for near field communication. It enables short range communication, that is 10 centimeter to 20 centimeter, between compatible devices. This requires at least one transmitting device, and another can be a passive device also, okay, another to receive the signal. A range of devices can use the NFC standard and will be considered either passive or active. Okay, now this NFC earlier actually in the not this your Android, I don't know. Now they are using a VPN, virtual private network. But before actually, NFC was one. Like how do you have now Bluetooth and all in your mobile? Similarly, NFC. That option used to be there. If at all, if anybody is using to transmit the data, okay, both they can do NFC as well as Bluetooth. Yeah, options were there. Okay, anything you can select, but that option was, now actually we don't find that in the mobile device if you check. Okay, instead many new things have come. Okay, that is a virtual private network, such things have come. Okay, now this is used for proximity card reader, okay, RFID, IoT, okay, machine to machine, mobile device, okay. Uh, so these are some of the examples. Proximity card, I think you all know that. Um, like you have a card, in that actually that security code will be there. You need not swipe the card, okay, that is proximity. You should get it to that receiver's vicinity. If you just hold in front of that, then actually it will detect the this thing. It is usually used in some of the high secured buildings and all, where entry is only with the permission. Okay, such places you can use the proximity card. Okay, next, mobile payment wallet, Google Pay, such things. Okay, then car electronic key. This actually, I doubt that it is given in the textbook, but I doubt that it is using NFC, because nowadays it has upgraded. It is not, you need not go near the car. Okay, from quite a far distance only, you can operate. Okay, the electronic key of the car. Then house or office entry key. Yeah, this uses NFC only. Then biometric passport reader. Okay. See, actually, it used to be then NFC. If you see, if at all that such module is available, then actually this is the symbol. Now, features of this NFC devices are, this technology is used based on the older RFID ideas, because RFID, it has come maybe 14, 15 years back. So using those ideas, NFC standard is being framed, which used electromagnetic induction in order to transmit information. That's what I said. Here actually we can have a passive device also. We can have both active devices, not an issue. One can be a passive device also, because why this comes as importance is when we design these communication devices, we should look into the energy consumption of all those devices. That is one of the main area which you have to look into. Now, if both the devices are active, then you should see, okay, throughout how to supply the energy. Okay, how to give provide energy for those devices. Instead, in NFC, we can have one passive device and one active device, because every time both are not need not be in the active state. When the one device comes near the other device, okay, the other device gets activated. How it get activated? So without touching it, if the second device have to get activated, then it has to be electromagnetic induction. So using that electromagnetic field, you can make the second device active. So this is one of the main feature in the NFC. This same thing was there in your RFID earlier. Now actually it has changed. It has evolved. It has changed RFID ideas. But earlier this was the concept. So same concept is being adopted in the NFC. The transmission frequency for data across NFC is 13.56 megahertz. So these are the allocated frequencies. You cannot have any frequency which you design, which it is easy for you to design. No, you cannot do that. Huh? The allocated frequency will be given only in that dedicated frequency range. Okay, it will communicate. Can send data at either 106, 212, 424 or 848 kbps. This is the speed. Okay, try to find the make out the difference between megahertz and kbps. Okay, this is the speed. Speed is at what rate the data transfer takes place. This is the operating frequency. 13.56 is the operating frequency. Now setup time for that is 0.1 second. The most common use okay, in smartphone is the peer-to-peer mode. This allows two NFC enabled devices to exchange various pieces of information between each other. Okay, so if you want to think okay how it is similar to now what you are using Bluetooth. Okay, but the range is still smaller than that. In this mode, both devices switch between active when sending data and passive when receiving. Okay, this is what I explained. Then you can use it in a read-write mode only. Okay, on the other hand is one-way data transmission. Okay, so read-write mode if you are using, then it is one-way data transmission. Okay, the active device, possibly smartphone, links up with another device, okay, in order to read information from it. NFC advert tags use this mode. Advertisement tags. Next, NFC enabled device may read or write information to a NFC tag. NFC tag, I can see here, this is the, check here, this is the tag, NFC tag. Okay, has more data in it. By reading the tag, the phone can get that information and act accordingly. Okay. The final mode of operation is card emulation. The NFC device can function as a smart or contactless credit card and make payments or tap into public transport system. Check out here. This actually application you all know much better, okay, nowadays. But how actually this functions, that you need to know. Next, second type of technology what we will be studying is the RFID device. Okay, there are two types, type 1 and type 2. Okay, here also passive device without inbuilt power source, which gather charges from the received radiation and thus starts functioning. So it is a passive device. Okay, if you see RFID, that code or whatever it is, that is passive. Okay, it starts it becomes active when it receives radiation from the another device. Okay, this is actually the power source. Can on its own discover nearby node for data interchange. Okay, so one have to be active or both can be active and one can be passive depending on the need. Okay, so we have low frequency RFID. Typically, low frequency RFID system operates at a 125 kilohertz, although there are some that operate at 134 kilohertz. Okay, this frequency band provides a short read range of 10 centimeter. Okay, that is 10 kilohertz. That 10 centimeter comes in this range, 30 kilohertz to 300 kilohertz range it is. Okay, high frequency RFID. Now this ranges from 3 to 30 megahertz. Most high frequency RFID systems operate at 13.56 megahertz with read ranges between 10 centimeter to 1 meter. Okay. Next one is ultra high frequency. This covers the range from 300 megahertz to 3 gigahertz. Okay, these use ultra high frequency generation 2 standard and use 860 to 960 megahertz band. Okay, that is the band given. While there is some variance in frequency from region to region, okay, you can just any one of the frequency, because when it is asked for the exam to write about these technologies, okay, you have nothing else. Okay, only these specifications you have to write. What I'm saying, nothing else is we don't have a diagram, okay, nor we have any definition for it. So only what you can elaborate and you can write the features. So while writing the features, all these parameters are necessary. Okay, so any one band you can specify. If you remember, if you are good in remembering both the, okay, these are in different regions. Okay, 900 to 915 megahertz, all those. This was used for 2G earlier also. Okay, the same band. Now data rates are 4 or 8 kbps, 40 kbps, 60 kbps, depending on which type are we using, low frequency, high frequency, or ultra high frequency. Next, coming to Bluetooth. Okay, we have again two type over there. Okay, Bluetooth enhanced data rate. Okay, and one more is low energy, and Bluetooth low energy. Okay, so and because the priority is given while construction. Bluetooth enhanced data rate is at high data rate, it is sending or receiving the data. Only priority is high data rate. Okay, not bothered about the power. The power, you all know this. Okay, the power consumption is very high. Okay, if you switch on the Bluetooth. The second one is, no, the data rate can be low, but I don't want the power to get used, utilized so much. So it is low energy consumption. Second one is Bluetooth, low energy. In that actually, the data rate is very less. Okay, if you see later, somewhere I've written, it is 1 Mbps, maximum 1 Mbps. Okay, but energy consumption is very less. So, Bluetooth, okay, basic rate, it is Bluetooth 1.1 with the data rate 720 kbps. Okay, Bluetooth enhanced data rate is 2.1 Mbps to 3 Mbps. Check this difference. Okay, it is just 720. Here it is 2.1 Mbps to 3 Mbps. Okay. Next, the one more version is Bluetooth. Okay, 3.0. Here it is. This is also enhanced 24 Mbps. The second type is Bluetooth low energy. Here actually see 1 Mbps. This is what I said. Two types of modes for the device: high speed, okay, and Bluetooth low energy. So these are the two types: high speed and low energy. Low energy, okay, range is 150 meter at 10 milliwatt power output. Okay, data transfer rate is 1 Mbps and setup time is less than 6 seconds. Okay. Bluetooth 5, okay, that is version 5 is focused on IoT. Now, what are the features of this Bluetooth 5? This gives the option to double the speed at the expense of range. Okay, you have to compromise with the range or up to fourfold the range at the expense of data rate. Okay, so however you want, depending on your application, you can make the changes. Okay, in the Bluetooth 5 version. So speed also can be increased, but range will be reduced, or you can increase the range, whereas at the cost of data rate. So data rate will be low in that case. The features are auto synchronization between mobile and other devices when both use Bluetooth. So this and all actually you can write in your own words because you're the one who are using it more. So you know it is auto synchronization. Okay, then it is self-discovery, self-configuration, self-healing. Okay, now self-discoveries, it only discovers, okay, it's in the neighborhood, okay, in the vicinity, which are the other Bluetooth devices which are switched on. Okay, in that, okay, you can select whichever is of your this thing, then self-configuration. Okay, it will set up the communication between the selected device, and self-healing comes when actually the any network issue is there. Okay, either giving self-healing is either trying to adjust with the low data, low data is not low data rate, low quality of data. Okay, it will try to adjust to be compatible with that, or okay, it can be like in the case of non-availability of the communication link, in such case, okay, the pop-up window will come. That is like it can't be, the communication can't be established. That is actually self-healing. It itself will do the correction if it is required, or it gives the uh, intimation that the connection cannot be established. Okay. Support to NFC pairing for low latency in pairing the BT devices. That is Bluetooth. That's what I said. Okay, NFC can be clubbed with the Bluetooth, but the thing is, in that time Bluetooth range reduces because NFC is for a very low range compared to Bluetooth. Okay. Now this IEEE 802.15.4, okay, is a wireless access technology for low cost, low data rate devices that are powered to run on batteries. Okay, it uses collision sense multiple access collision avoidance CSMA algorithm. Okay, now 802.15.4 device physical defines physical and MAC layer. So communication in that layer, okay, appending the header or whatever. So then actually you can go for IEEE 802.15.4. The frequency used is, this is actually free range frequency. This can be used for all, okay, free. Now whatever you are using, the final this thing, hotspot, okay, that is also uses this frequency only, 2.4 gigahertz. Okay, all other research oriented work also, they give 2.4 gigahertz only, because that is a free uh, band which is given for all these. Okay, 868 megahertz and 915 megahertz. Data rate is 250 kbps. Some of the most well-known protocol stacks based on this standard are Zigbee, okay, low WPAN, then wireless HART. See here, this is what I said, the appending and the header. Okay, this is the synchronization header, preamble, okay, then start of frame delimiter, then the frame length. So totally we have 6 bytes here. Then actually the data will be transferred. Next one is Zigbee. Okay, Zigbee solutions are aimed at smart objects and sensors that have low bandwidth and low power needs. This is actually, this sentence you can write for all, because we always look for low power, low bandwidth devices. Okay, so whenever any technology is asked for you, so you can write this. Okay, low bandwidth and low power devices they are. Okay, then metering, temperature or lighting control, these different functional domains use Zigbee applications. The main areas where Zigbee is the most well known include automation for commercial, retail and home applications, and smart energy. Zigbee security at the MAC layer, okay, using the advanced encryption standard with a 128-bit key, and also provides security at the network and application layers. Now see, this is actually, if you see, application support, application profile, network, and this is security layer. Okay, here only our transport layer is also merged. Then MAC and physical layer. Now, whatever we have studied, 802.15.4 standard for IEEE standard, for that actually amendment is done, and it is 4E. Okay, amendment is a small change is done to it, okay, which gives as a 802.15.4E. Okay, it expands the MAC layer feature set to remedy the disadvantages associated with the earlier one, including MAC reliability, unbounded latency, and multipath fading. Okay, so this is actually 802.4. Now actually it has become as 8.2.15.4e. Okay, this is again one more the advanced version in the same standard. Okay, here payload size of 127 byte was increased to 2047. Here I show not here. 127 was the payload here. Okay, so this payload is increased to 2047 bytes. So with the same, what is the use actually? With the same header, preamble header, we can send more data. Otherwise, all those ultimately are the redundant bits. Okay, those headers and all. The synchronization. Those are you. They don't carry any information, but it is required for synchronization and so many other things. Okay, security purpose. All those you know. Now, actually, if the advanced one, if it is able to carry 2047 bytes instead of 127 bytes, okay, then actually this is more advantageous compared to the previous one. This provides a better match for the greater packet sizes found in many upper layer protocol. For example, the default IPv6 setting is 1280 bytes. Fragmentation is no longer necessary at layer 2 when IPv6 packets are transmitted over IEEE. Okay, now see, that's what this here actually IPv6 in that network layer. Okay, IPv6, where do we see in the network layer? Here actually the byte size becomes 1280. Okay, if you are using this IEEE 802.15.4G technology, then you don't have to cut those bytes into pieces, okay, and send. You can send the complete data. What is the advantage of sending the complete frame? Is I don't have to put every time synchronization bit, append synchronization bit, okay, header, this, that. I don't have to do it every time. For one complete 1280 bytes, okay, I can put one header. So that is the advantage. Okay, in with respect to complexity of the network, with respect to time taken. Okay, here that way has to be encoded, and the receiving side it has to be decoded. So all those complexity will be there. So that is eliminated if you use this type. Okay, it supports multiple data rates and bands ranging from 169 megahertz to 2.4 gigahertz. But anyway, it supports at a time you can use any one of the this thing. What is that frequency? One more amendment is no. So this is a different one, different standard. IEEE 802.11ah. Okay, this frequency bands are 868 to 868.6 megahertz, 902 to 928 megahertz. Okay, these are used in those two regions. Okay, USA and Asia Pacific regions. Okay, then in different places, however it is, okay, it uses OFDM modulation. Okay, because it is also important which type of modulation technique you use while transmitting them, because that is also very important. One, in terms of complexity, okay, modulation complexity. Second, in terms of how many bits it is going to take extra. Okay, third thing is whether, like, however you use at the transmitter side, the same thing has to be used at the receiver side. In all the cases, transmitter and receiver will not be active. Okay, if they can be active, but if both are active, then actually the cost of the device will increase. So you should see to it that a simple modulation technique, okay, but with all features, okay, should be used. So OFDM model, okay, orthogonal frequency division modulation. It uses channels of 2, 4, 8 or 16 megahertz, and also 1 megahertz for low bandwidth transmission. Okay, it provides an extended range for its lower speed data. For example, at a data rate of 100 kbps, the outdoor transmission range, okay, is expected to be 0.62 mile. So this is actually the trade-off, okay, between your data rate as well as your distance. One more standard is there, 802.11 AC. Okay, it is a high-speed wireless LAN protocol at 5 gigahertz band that is capable of speed up to 1 Gbps. Okay, next one is long range, WAN, wide area network. Okay, long range wide area network. It is a two-way communication and low power consumption. Okay, I forgot to tell. In the previous cases, okay, in all the technologies, whatever we have learned, it is bidirectional. Okay, but if your requirement is only single direction, then also you can design accordingly. With the same standards, we can design. Okay, see here, this is what I said, and low power consumption. For all the technology, you can write low power consumption because that is the one of the parameter kept in mind with priority for all designing. Frequency bands of 433 megahertz, okay, then this range, okay, this range and this range, okay, regional profiles for a subset of the 902 to 928 megahertz bandwidth. So these are the sub bands which can be used with these main bands. Okay, these main bands for the different region whichever we have saw just now. An important feature is its ability to handle various data rates via the spreading factor. Devices with a low spreading factor achieves less distance in their communication but transmit at faster speeds, resulting in less airtime. Airtime is nothing but your communication time. Okay, communication setup, link setup, as well as communication data transfer. Airtime is, okay, link setup time plus data transfer time. Got it? So that is the airtime. Okay. The spreading factor, if it is decreased, here is one example given how actually it is inversely proportional. Okay, if the spreading factor is decreased, then data rate increases. Okay, data rate increases. So this was about the some of the technologies. Okay. Some of the technologies we have used. Now, do you all have any doubt? Any doubt? Oh, somebody has in the chat, somebody has put RJ45. What is it? Is it for Ethernet? Was the answer? When I asked about Ethernet, was that the answer? Okay, any doubt? Okay, Deekshit, come online. Deekshit Shetty. Deekshit, come online. No. Then Kiran Raj, come online. Kiran Raj, come online. Okay. Nafisa, Zian, B section, come online. Nobody is there. Carlton? Carlton, come online.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You have you gone through the recorded video which I have put?
Which one, ma'am?
Last two classes I have put, no?
Yes,
Have you
yes.
gone through it? Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then what do you understand by gateway? What do you understand by gateway?
Gateway is something uh, like it's a it's a it's a mediator between two servers, ma'am.
Mediated between two servers. Is it like
Yeah,
that?
or it's just like a server is divided into multiple PCs via gateway.
No, 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 no. The idea is no. See, actually, Maunish has left the meeting. I thought I'll ask that guy. Okay, you do one thing, all of you. Those who are anyway, I have attendance this thing, but those who are here, please in the chat box type good morning. Okay, so that I can take the attendance within 3-4 minutes. Okay, yeah. Gateway is not that. Okay, let me ask with the Sagar. Sagar is here. Is Sagar here? Sean?
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Yeah, yeah. Am I audible? Yeah, I can hear you, Sean. What do you mean by gateway?
Basically, it's like it acts as a switch, ma'am. In the sense, it will allow the network to go. I mean, to for communication purpose, it's used.
Why do you say that it acts like a switch? It is not a switch. It is
Not switch exactly, but as
uh,
a like a barrier,
barrier for what?
which like communication, ma'am. Which
No, 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 no. I think you all did not
It's
get.
just like a router, ma'am.
Yeah, it is like a router. Yes. What is the it is like a router. That is correct. Okay, not a server. It is like a router.
like to connect to applications, ma'am.
No, it is not connecting to applications. A router is
Like
also
the
there.
incoming network is distributed to
No, no. My question is,
computers.
we have router. No, what is the difference between router and gateway? What is the difference between router and gateway? Yeah, Sean and Carlton can answer because others, I don't know. They have just typed good morning and to communicate, they have left. Ligina is there to communicate between two different protocols. Yes, Ligina, come on line.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What do you mean by to communicate between two different protocols?
Suppose in the transmitter end, if you have, if the domain is, suppose, like take an example, if they're using a particular protocol for transmitting their data, and in the receiving end, to get the same, extract the same data, they use a different type of protocol, maybe wired or wireless. So in order to give a connection, to make the communication standard between the transmitter and the receiver end, having different protocols, we use a gateway.
Gateway, exactly. Okay, only see router can route to any this thing. Okay, direction. Okay, depending on algorithms. However, you want to route. Okay, you can the router will route the link. But whereas gateway is suppose you want to change from one network to another network. Maybe from your IoT you want to connect it to internet. Okay, IoT is using a different domain. Okay, then the internet is a different domain. In such case, to establish the connection between two, you use gateway, because gateway at gateway, that changeover will take place if it is required. Okay, changeover will take place. So only when you have to communicate between two different or outside your particular domain, you have to use gateway. Otherwise, your job will be done with the help of router only. Vbird serves as connection point between two. No, Vbird, that actually I have many such things, access points, then router, so many things are there. So how gateway stands, okay, apart from these is, it, yeah, like it can change the standard. As she said, it can change the standard. Okay, next is, my question is, do you have master slave configuration in the mesh network? Who can answer me? Adeline Pinto.
Yes, ma'am.
Adeline is there, right? Yeah. Do you have a master slave this thing in scenario in the mesh network?
Not actually, ma'am. Like they interconnect with each other, like the
In what? In
nodes.
mesh?
Yeah, the
Uh,
nodes, number of nodes
yeah.
may
In,
interconnect.
yeah. In which one? Mesh or star?
Mesh, ma'am. Mesh network.
Mesh. In star?
In star, like the coordinates or the master node. Number of, like they interconnect with the coordinates or the master node particular.
Master. Yeah. So in and what about bus connection?
Uh, yeah, bus is like one particular thing, kind of master only, like
Yes.
based on
Yes.
one particular.
Yes. So in bus, in star, all those we have master slave connection, whereas in mesh we don't have master slave.
Yeah.
So in terms of IoT, when we speak, yeah, we can think of master slave, but when we think about communication technologies, it's most of the this thing is mesh connection. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nishita wants to join now. Yeah. Any other doubt you have? Any other doubt? If it is so, then please unmute yourself and we can discuss that. Do you have? Okay. Sanket, come online.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, Sanket. To connect to application layer, which one was, this was answer for which one?
For the gateway, ma'am.
Gateway. Okay. Two application layers. No, this is not a specific answer. Okay. This can be for anything. To connect between two application layers, you can say any entity for that matter, not particularly gateway. Okay. Now,
Yes, ma'am.
actually, I've I too found that okay, recording and uploading is difficult because most of the time it won't come properly. Again and again, I have to repeat. So instead of that, is it okay if you all come with now Thursday one full hour, the other days, okay, maybe for half an hour or so, shall we do the online class only? Just type yes or no. Okay, shall we do other 2 days, that is Thursday and Wednesday also, online class only? Okay. If it is okay to you, then type yes, otherwise type no. I'm not getting any answer. No. Okay, just for half an hour, do you find it difficult? Okay, then if others also type no something. Yeah, I'm getting the answer. Yeah. One second. Yeah, stop typing. Now I want actually here all the answers. None of the answers are yes. All the answers are no. Then okay, is that recorded version is okay? Is that recorded version is okay? Type your answers. However I do, is it okay? Is it understandable? because it should be like connectivity should be there, right? Two classes I put recording, then one class live. So connect, if you don't see that, then here the connectivity won't be there. So only I'm asking, is the record class okay? Just type your this thing thoughts. We need PPTs. Okay. Others, yeah, come on. Give answer. PPTs I'm giving, no? Shashank. Okay. Yeah. Fine. I then will continue like this only. Okay. I won't go for the online class. I will yeah, I will go with the recorded class only, one class online. Okay. So since there are no other questions, I think I'll end my class here only. Okay, bye. Thank you.